Kia ora, good evening. The Reserve Bank released its six-monthly financial stability report today, citing China as a potential financial stress risk, with high levels of external dairy sector debt making the sector vulnerable to commodity price falls. Other risks include house prices rising from an already overvalued levels, particularly in Christchurch and Auckland, increasing the risk of a future house price correction. Early evidence shows banks have significantly reduced high loan-to-value lending approvals introduced on October 1st, but it's too soon to assess the impact of measures on house price inflation. The Reserve Bank confirmed today that while Kiwi home buyers can only borrow up to 80% of the purchase price, foreign buyers have no restrictions. PowerNet's old buildings on Racecourse Road are coming down in order to make way for a new corporate office. The demolition of the old crane house and workshop at PowerNet's Racecourse Road site signals the start of work on the new purpose-built headquarters for the Electricity Network Management Company. PowerNet Corporate Services Manager Tim Brown says the demolition of the 65-year-old buildings kicks off the new build process. The site is to be cleared by Christmas, with construction work expected to start in the new year, with the completion date set for mid to late 2014. Staff will in the meantime make use of a collection of on-site prefabricated buildings. Travel in a sustainable and healthy way has become even easier thanks to the community bike doctor taking care of repairs. Now in residence in Glengarry at the Environment Centre, the bicycle doctor is being kept busy with cycle repairs and training others in bike maintenance. After 3 years at the St John's Church Hall in Tay Street, Tony Tressida says there's big demand from a wide cross-section of community cyclists. Offering free drop-off and bike pick-up services, the non-profit bike doctor uses donations from repairs to buy essentials like glue, CRC and patches, and relies on volunteer labour to keep up with demand.
It's a community bike shop for the community. Anyone can come in and bring their bike and we repair it for free, or they can give us a donation. We rely on people's donations of bicycles and parts as well to help out other people. Basically that's what it pretty much is, just a free community bike shop.
And so how many bikes are you servicing at any one time?
Well, we're pretty much just down here like once a week, so we get an easy 10 bikes in just during the day, and then there's a few things during the week we might have to muck around with, and people leave their bikes here and may come back next week to pick them up, stuff like that.
And what are the most common problems that you're coming up against?
Punches is a big main one. A lot of adjustments, brakes, gears, and then sometimes there's a big, a lot of you have to do the full check on the bike, full works and everything's bugged on it. It's like, oh.
If people were trying to take care of their bike themselves and do some general maintenance, what sort of things could you recommend for them?
Well, we do have a website where I've got, once a month I put up some, like last month it was how to repair a puncture. So I have things like that, but basically keep the chain oil, keep everything lubed, don't be too hard on the bike, just sort of basic common sense sort of stuff. Yeah, just don't be hard on your bike.
And around 30 cyclists will be making sure their bikes are in top condition as they prepare for a ride from Milford Sound to Invercargill this Saturday. They're raising funds for Heart Kids Southland, and it all started on the suggestion of local hairdresser Jason Gherkin.
It's not funded by the government, so it's all fundraising that to raise funds for it, and to support the Heart Kids through life. And the fact it was actually the Southland branch of the Heart Kids sort of pricked my ears up a bit, and I thought, yeah, I'd be into that. So I said, well, where's the ride, where we're going to go? He said, well, I'm actually thinking we should go to Milford Sound. And I'm thinking, well, is he joking, or is it going to be a relay, or what? So he said, no, I think we can do it all ourselves. He says, I've got a couple of mates that are keen, and I actually had a couple of friends that were into cycling from Christchurch, so we encouraged them to come down. But the first year was actually looking like we had 4 cyclists, and then very much at the last minute, I got a call from Hamish Presbury, who's obviously a tour rider and tied up with Royal Southland. He says it was myself and a young man called Matt Zenovich and another chap that wants to come with us and join us. And we thought, oh, absolutely perfect. Some young guns we can stick out the front for the day. So we didn't hang them out to dry too much. So it's really grown from them. So from 7 riders biking from Invercargill to Milford Sound the first time, which we'll never ever do again. It was just too hard. I mean, it's too uphill and the conditions. Last year we decided to turn it around. We actually got 3 more riders on board, so it was 10 of us actually biked from Milford Sound to Invercargill, and everyone enjoyed it a lot better. It was a good day, and through word of mouth this year the numbers have actually absolutely swelled to 30 riders. So that's fantastic. Okay, there's one crowd doing it with a team. In fact, Doug Barthix to a Southland winner in 2004, so he's got back on the bike after many a year's layoff. He's always supported the cycling, that sort of stuff. So it's just grown another leg, really. I mean, so far with our online fundraising, we're up to $11,500, and we're really expecting some big donations to come in over the next week, and certainly after the ride too. This year, like I say, we're already up to $11,500. So the target is $20,000, but I think we'll actually give that a very good nudge.
Stay with us after the break. It's time to enrol for the upcoming referendum and a call for a support group for fathers. Welcome back. People are being encouraged to check their enrolment details are up to date in order to participate in this month's citizens-initiated referendum. The referendum takes place between the 22nd of November and the 13th of December and asks the question, do you support the government selling up to 49% of Meridian Energy, Mighty River Power, Genesis Power, Solid Energy and Air New Zealand? Individuals can check their enrolment details by visiting the Electoral Commission's website www.elections.org.nz, by phoning 0800 36 76 56 or by visiting any post shop. The referendum is not binding and the national government has already stated that the asset sales process will proceed whatever the referendum's outcome. The Otatara-based Native Bird Rehabilitation Trust today notched up another victory in the fight to save southern native bird life. A recovered male native wood pigeon was returned to the scene of his accident to be released back into his home territory on a Bainfield Road address. This pigeon has had 3 long months recuperating with the Native Bird Rehabilitation Trust following a flying accident that saw him out of action for the busy mating season. The pigeon's mate had been spotted earlier and it's hoped the two will be reunited before too long. Russell Evans of the Native Bird Rehabilitation Trust has much experience with native birds and this sort of injury.
Well, he run into the window here at Tony's place and got injured, and he got brought to us, and we managed to get him back into the shape he's in now so that we can release him and go back and do his job in the wild.
What injuries do birds suffer when they do hit a window, for instance?
They can split their crop or do all types of damage like that. Normally it's severe bruising down the front of them. When they're coming to the window, they see it at the last second, they flare up and they hit front on the window, and it's like in a car crash for a person. The veins, the heart, and that all the veins around the heart can get badly bruised and knocked around. So yeah, that's the main injuries. And when we get them, they're kept in confinement in a kitten carry box for about a week and fed liquid only for a start.
And they progress from then. How long has this particular gentleman pigeon been in your care?
Oh, he's probably been in here about 2.5, 3 months. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably a relatively short time.
So if you're sitting in your lounge and you hear a thump on the ranch slider or something, best to act rather than just leave that bird to its own devices?
Definitely act straight away. The bird's got a far greater chance of survival if you pick it up, go out with a towel, or if you've got a net, luckily enough, go out and throw a towel over it or a blanket and pick it up. And either, if you don't know about us, get Doc a ring and they'll get it to us.
It does seem quite obvious now that native birds are returning, aren't they? What do you put that down to? Obviously your organisation and other people caring about the birds?
People are starting to care far more now. We have a education side of what we do. We invite all schools to come and have a look at what we're doing, because quite frankly the future of our bird life and that depends on the children coming along to look after them. We're getting near the other end of the scale and we need the young people to take responsibility, and quite frankly if they come along and they get a hold of a pigeon or something, or they can actually touch one, they're not going to go out and throw stones at it and try and kill it. I firmly believe that the best way to save our wildlife is to let people actually see them, touch them and do that. But hiding them away in reserves where people can't see them isn't going to save them.
Invercargill father of 7, Ben Tamoananui, wants to establish a support group for fathers struggling to include themselves in their children's lives following a relationship breakdown. He's calling the group Dads with Courage. Hunter Andrews asked him about the concept behind the support group.
There's a lot of advertisements out there now that says that dad needs to stand up to be dads. So I want to help them stand up to be a dad. It's an awesome feeling to be a dad. I like to laugh with my kids. And it's an awesome feeling to laugh with my kids, not laugh at them.
What sort of supporters have your ideas got?
I've had a lot of positive support from around town, from a lot of community organisations. They're putting up stuff to help me, and if I need help from them, then I can just go and call upon them for any help that I can with the dads.
And your approach to this idea is in stages?
Yes, I've got 3 stages. First stage is the initial setup, to where the dads have got to they got to want to make the change. And it's to change their past. They got to own their past and stand up and then carry on to be a dad. Second stage will be to try and get a safe house to where dads can go there and feel safe with their kids, because there's other dads here with their kids, and if they have any disputes to where they got to leave home, they got a safe house to go to. It's not to a community organisation to where they going to feel uncomfortable there. It's going to be a dad there that he can say hello to, have a coffee with, and talk to them with their problems.
And it's all about, I guess, sharing ideas and thoughts and experiences that other dads have had?
Yep, exactly that. If they've had their problems and they've managed to get over those problems with a smile on their face, they can help the next dad with their problem.
Why have you come to these thoughts, or your personal experiences?
Yep, a lot of it was from personal experiences. I've got 7 kids, and I've had a lot of experiences with the system, with the justice system, community groups and organisations. I've had a lot of stuff with them, and a lot of the times I wasn't happy, but I've managed to work out a way to where you can be happy. Walk out of those places with a smile on your face, but you've just got to want to make a change.
So what's the next step for you? This is just the beginning.
Yep, this is just the beginning. Now I've got to go out there, promote myself with the other organisations, and hopefully get myself up and running to where I've got more dads on board and I'm helping them out.
And that's all from the news team tonight. The Mad Butcher's up next on Sport. From us, good evening.